two sisters, one king, and a scandal that shook England to its core. Before Elizabeth I became England's greatest monarch, there was Anne Boleyn, her mother, and before Anne, there was Mary, the woman who first caught the king's eye. This isn't just a royal love story. It's a story of ambition, betrayal, and blood, a scandal that changed the course of history. Because to make one sister queen, a king would tear apart his country, his church, and his soul. The 1500s, England under Henry VIII, a young, powerful king, obsessed with legacy. He needed a male heir to secure his throne. But his wife, Catherine of Aragon, couldn't give him one. Enter the Boleyn family, ambitious courtiers with eyes on power. First came Mary Boleyn. She was charming, gentle, and quickly became the king's mistress. Rumors swirled that her children might even be his. But the Boleyns wanted more than whispered scandals, they wanted influence. And that's when Mary's sister, Anne, stepped out of the shadows. Anne wasn't like Mary. She was smart, fiery, and ambitious. She refused to be the king's mistress. If Henry wanted her, he'd have to make her queen. The problem? He was already married. For years, Henry tried to convince the Pope to annul his marriage, but when the church refused, Henry did the unthinkable. He broke from Rome and created his own church, the Church of England, all for Anne Boleyn. It was a love that rewrote the laws of God and doomed them both. In 1533, Anne Boleyn became Queen of England. The people cheered, but her crown was built on controversy. Her first child, a girl, Elizabeth, the pressure to produce a male heir grew unbearable. Miscarriages followed, and the king's affection turned to anger. Courtiers whispered. Rivals plotted, and in 1536, Anne was arrested, accused of adultery, treason, and even incest with her brother. On May 19, she was executed at the Tower of London by the very man who once defied the church for her. But Anne's story didn't end on the scaffold. Mary Boleyn, once the king's mistress, faded from history's stage. But Anne left behind something greater than herself, a daughter, Elizabeth. The child born of scandal would one day rise to the throne and rule England for 45 years. Under her reign, the nation entered a golden age: art, exploration, and stability. The Boleyn name, once cursed, would become royal destiny. Two sisters, one loved quietly, one dared to rule. Mary sought affection. Anne sought power. Both were victims and architects of their fate. Their choices changed not just a king's heart, but the very faith of a nation. And through their bloodline came England's greatest queen. In the end, the Boleyn sisters proved one truth: even the smallest ambitions can echo through history. Subscribe for more untold true stories that changed the world in 60 seconds.